Good morning. So much for me not being on until next year, because here I am looking rough as a badger's arse. I don't care. Energies are cranking. I haven't had really any sleep, which is nice. And because I haven't had any sleep, I went through some emails. And hello, Neo. Neo has a video. Is it 5:30 tonight, Neo? I'm ready. It's gonna be banging. Be conscious. Good morning. Hi, Haley. Right, so anyway, before I start this, I'm just gonna like Emma Hughes. I'm gonna do like there's a big trigger warning here. Okay. So if what I'm about to say makes you feel anything other than resonant, it's okay. You don't have to watch it. Okay. So a little disclaimer before I start. This is just my perspective and my truth. And that was a nice white flash of energy there. Did you see that? Doesn't have to be your perception or your truth. I'm not saying anything is right or anything is wrong, but I just want to address it because I haven't slept and I was going through my emails and there is a reoccurring theme of people asking for an answer to a certain question, and I'm going to address it, okay? So, there's two parts. There's two parts to this question, okay? Now, I'm going to have to be very careful how I say these things because this lovely app that I'm on right now that I'm very grateful to be part of is unsubscribing about 10 people a day already from my channel, which is fine by me. However, you get my point, right? So so we have a huge amount of solar flares actually kicking off, guys, and I think that's why I haven't slept. Anyway, so, it's very early in the morning and I'm like, well, so I'm going to read my emails. So I'm going through my emails and there's an email that basically is talking about Christmas, okay? And they're saying that they, recently awakened. Christmas with the family is going to be a little bit different this year. That they already get a little bit of stick for their beliefs, they're called a conspiracy theorist, etc. And one, they're gonna find it hard to be around family, and two, they believe, and they never said that they believed. What they asked was, and this is a question I've been getting a lot, okay, is about the ink, okay? And if the ink spills, do you understand what I'm saying? Does the ink spill? Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. This is heavy coding. Just let me know. Just somebody tell me that they're understanding so that I can carry on. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Danica. Okay, so Laura's like, not really. Does the snake shed its skin? Okay. Yes, and building sheds. Thank you, Neil. Okay, so yes. And here's the first trigger. Take a nice deep breath into your heart space. All together now. Just into the heart. Just coming from that place of love and compassion. Okay, this is just where I am. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's a thing. And what I do believe is that we create our own reality. Okay. So I believe if we do believe it, then it can affect us. And I also believe that it's a very, very clever ploy. Okay. I believe it's a division tactic. And if we can see it from a higher, not better, okay, but from, if we can pull ourselves out of the situation and see it for what it is, then we might understand that it's more about separation and division than it is about anything else. Okay? Tracy 1111, it's not on my vision board. Mine either, sweetheart, right? So what I do believe is if people believe it, then they can be affected by it. Okay? So for example, if I'm, to put it the way Neo did, 33 people watching, building a shed with my family, okay, I don't believe that I can be hurt in the making of that shed. I don't believe that it can affect me unless I believe it can affect me. Okay? So, you know, I know people believe that this has affected them, you know, and I'm not taking that away from you. I'm not taking that away from your truth or your belief system. I'm just sharing where I am and what my belief is it, because I've been round lots of spilt ink and I'm good. Okay. The other thing I would like to address is because of this division and separation, okay, which is all this is about, right? From a bigger picture, right? Is because it's about, you know, division and divide and separation, you know, it's what lockdown's been about, that's what everything's about. Every choice that people is making is about putting you in one camp or another, and it's the oldest trick in the book. Well, Tammy, I don't believe in it, so it doesn't make any difference. Well, I don't believe it. So, but that's just where I am. You do what's good for you. So I'm just going to put a what if out there, right? Now, I know that it can be very hard, particularly when you're first awakened, and to be around other people that are in a different camp. Okay? I understand that. However, where I am is that I believe that I need to come from a place of complete neutrality, that I need to understand that everybody is making a soul choice, and that I need to understand that I'm making my soul choice. And regardless of anybody's choices that they're making, it doesn't change my love for them. It doesn't change me caring for them. It doesn't change anything. Now, I know that a lot of people are on the back end of a backlash from that, and I understand that, okay? However, as people who are here and awakening, it is our job, and this is just my opinion, it is our job to stay in compassion, okay? This division, this pointing fingers, this, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. I am sick and tired of it, okay? I see it in the community all the time. Everybody wants to blame somebody. And what does that blaming and naming and shaming and calling people out, and what does it do? You know, is it getting us to... Thanks for sharing, Neil. Where does it get us to? What does it do? Does it get us to a place of unity? Does it bring us to a place of understanding? Is this heart-led? I feel we went to sleep one day about 2 years ago and we woke up in a different world, okay? And I'm sure many people do. That can happen again. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not being like a naysayer or a doomsday or a... The thing is that nobody actually really knows what's around the corner. We all feel something. We don't know what it is. And what I want to say to anybody who wants to listen to this, okay? Anybody who listened to this, who is listening to this, is I want to spend time with my loved ones regardless of their choices, because I don't know where we're going to be or what's going to happen tomorrow. And I love everybody in my life. So I'm not going to buy into division. And what I would just like to say to anybody who's watching this, anybody who cares to listen, triggered, not triggered, whatever it might be is, right? If you're making a decision, okay, to one, either go with family and are going to be in a really bad place because of it, or two, feel any bad feelings towards family because of their choices or because of how they're treating you, I understand it. But what if there isn't a tomorrow, is what I want to say to you. What if there isn't another Christmas? What if there isn't another opportunity? I'm not saying there isn't going to be another opportunity. I'm not being a doomsday blah, 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 right? Because I know that everything that's happening right now is completely divine and I am in the best space of my life, okay? But I know a lot of people aren't. And I just don't want anybody to have any regrets because they are listening to any kind of division, separation, or negativity that pulls you away from the people that you love the most. If you're going to be, my advice for whatever it's worth, right? You can take it or you can leave it, right? It doesn't matter to me. But I'm really kind of sticking, myself out on the line by having this conversation. And I don't care. Because I'm doing this from a place of love, and I'm doing this from a place of compassion, and I'm doing this from a place of sometimes people just need to hear this. And if you don't, that's okay too, right? However, what if this Christmas, what we do is, even if it's going to be difficult to spend time with our friends and our family who have different beliefs or different opinions than us, can we not just say to them, listen, can we just agree to just not talk about it? Can we just, make a pact to just enjoy this time together without taking in any division or any divide? And maybe even have like a swear box, right? But a situation box, the situation, and make it a game. Whereas if somebody mentions the oh God, somebody's got an attachment. Mentions the the C word or the V word or whatever it is, they have to do a forfeit, or they have to put £1 in a jar, or they have to, I don't know, have a shot, or I don't know, just make like a fun and game of it, and try and make it lighthearted, rather than getting into debates about these things. We've been doing it for 2 years now. Can we just stop? Can we just stop, even if it's just for a couple of days or 24 hours or a week? Can we just stop and just not pay it any attention for a little while and just not feed the monster? Can we just not feed this division for a little while? Can we instead make it a game, have a big buzzer in the room or a big bell, and, just, I don't know, whatever it is, right? If people aren't spending time around people because they are afraid of building a shed, right? Or they're afraid of spilling ink, that is fear. Whatever way you look at that. And it's just feeding the monster. So, I just wanted to chat and address it, because it'll maybe save my email box filling up, and questions coming in about this. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? All right. What do? You go into your heart, you try and make some kind of light and raise a vibration. You use distraction against the distraction. You transmute it. That's our job. Okay? That's our job. And just that comment about being secluded. What I would do in that situation is I would say to whoever was secluding me, I appreciate your decision, but I want you to know that you're making me feel, through my own medical choice, you are hurting me. You are putting division between us at a time where we should be coming together as a family in love. And I want you to know that you are causing me pain by not inviting me to the celebration. And if you can't invite, this is what I would do, genuinely. And I love you, and I want to be with my family. I want to be with you on Christmas Day. But if you seriously believe that I cannot be around you at this time because of my personal medical choices, then I understand and I appreciate it. But you will also understand and appreciate that when you come and you ask for me for help, or you come and you ask me for support, I'm going to find it pretty hard. If we can make these people aware of how that's affecting us, it might make them think again. But we don't have to do it in a battle way. We don't have to do it in a you're right, you're wrong. We can do it in a way where we go, okay, I completely accept your choice. You don't accept mine, but I accept your choice. But I need you to know that through your choice, you're causing me pain. You're dividing the family. I'm very hurt and I'm being secluded at a time when everybody else is together. And make them know how they're making you feel in that moment. Because that's important, to still speak your truth from a heart space. Yeah. Look, guys, whatever you're doing, whatever your choices are, okay, whether you choose to believe one story or you choose to believe another story, okay, we don't know what's in front of us, okay? We need to understand, we don't need to do anything, right? Need, I don't like that word. And again, I can only share my experiences and where I am and my truth and my perspective. And this is what it is. I understand everybody's choices. I understand that they're only making choices from the level of consciousness that they're at. You know, people are making different choices from me because they can't see it from where I am. And here's how I see it. We are all at different stages of this evolution process. We're all at different vibrations. We all see things differently. And our perspectives, our belief systems are created via our experiences. And what that technically means is for every single soul that is living on this world, there are that many earths. So say there's 7 billion people in the world just now. There are 7 billion different versions of Earth because no two people have the same experiences. No two people's, perceptions or perspectives are the same. No two people have had exactly the same experiences. So we're all different. We're all in these different versions of our Earth experience 2021. We're never ever going to fully understand another person because we can't fully understand it because we haven't lived it. Once we get to the point where we understand that everybody's perceptions, belief systems, and where they are solely made by their experiences, this shifts. It shifts. So it's not up to me to judge anybody. It's not up to me to tell anybody they're right or they're wrong. It's not up to me to judge anybody for any of the choices they're making, because every single person on this earth right now is making their choice because they believe it is the correct one for them. Okay? Emma, I do think that our planets are pretty close to each other, though. I think there's planet Joanne and there's planet Emma, and they're pretty close neighbors. Okay, so let me see some comments. Yes, Jan, we're all on our own soul journey. Free will, and that's what it's all about, It's all, Zal, Joanne, they're captured consciousness. Yes, they are, but I was also captured consciousness at one point, so I can't, 10 years ago, I'd have made completely different choices to what I've made right now, and that's a fact, okay? So, I want you to know that you've got choice. Doesn't matter if it feels like you don't sometimes, you always have choice. Anything else is an illusion. Anything else is an illusion. Emma, that's funny. Kathy's asking, what about toxic family members? Well, it's up to you to choose whether you want to spend time around people that are toxic. You know, you're using a word toxic. It's a very strong word, right? The word toxic means what, like radioactive, like it can harm you. If something is toxic, it can kill you even, right? I don't care whether somebody's a family member, whether they're a next door neighbor, or whether they're a friend. I don't spend time with toxic people. I'm not going to spend my time or my energy around anyone who is, a threat to my life. Because I have a choice. So that would be my choice. And Katie, I'm really sorry that's your experience. A lot of people have toxic parents. We've chose them. There's another trigger warning. We chose this experience. Everything that you are experiencing right now, you chose. If you have toxic parents, you chose them. Why did you choose them? You chose to learn lessons from them. Okay? And that can be very hard to hear, and that can be very, very hard to heal. Okay? But here's the thing. I'm not here to sugarcoat things for people. Okay? I'm not here to sprinkle, rainbow dust onto everything. I'm here to speak from my heart and speak my truth. And it doesn't have to be other people's truth. Okay? And if it's triggering you, it's because it's something that needs healed within you. It's the universe showing you something, okay? Nobody wants to hear that. Crystal Life Rose, I wish I chose a different life. No, you don't. You chose this one, and if you're feeling that way, then what I would do is I would ask why. What am I not learning? What lessons am I not learning? Why am I not growing from these lessons? Because the truth to me is that anybody who has been toxic in my life, right? Anybody who has really hurt me, any really terrible, traumatic situations I've had, I have learned from, I have grown from, and they've been my biggest teachers. And I am so grateful for all my biggest teachers. I am so grateful for every ounce of pain. I am so grateful for every person that made their choice to do that to me so that I could learn, so that I could grow, so that I could be stronger, so that I could be here and now. Pamela, I've started with forgiving them and myself. Massive, forgiveness is one of the biggest keys of this ascension journey, and true forgiveness. I'm not talking about, yeah, okay. I'm talking about true forgiveness, like really going into the understanding of why other people made their choices, the understanding of the certain contracts that we made with people to learn things, the higher perspective and the higher understanding of it all, and complete and utter forgiveness for yourself. That's tough, but once you breach that, the thing about forgiveness is that there's this programming of, and I say this all the time in my sessions, and I've said it before in like the 21 days and stuff. There's this program of if you forgive somebody, you let them off the hook. Well, if you're watching this, I would say you're probably spiritual and you have a little bit of a higher belief system, and there's such a thing as karma, right? And let me put it this way. What I want you to do right now is if you're having a problem with forgiveness, I want you to think about it this way. I want you to think about that person that you cannot forgive right now. Okay? For whatever they did. And I want you to imagine being the soul prior. Well then, Doreen, that depends what you think karma is, right? Doreen put karma isn't what you think it is, but then that depends what you think karma is. I want you then to imagine both of your souls sitting around a table, agreeing the lessons that you're going to learn before you came here, and knowing that that other soul actually has a harder job. And the reason for that is that they actually agreed to give you trauma or to give you pain, knowing that there is a karmic equivalent for them, because things have to be brought back to balance. And when you can look at it from that place, it can give you a different perspective, you know. Doreen's saying you have been everyone. Well, yes and no, Doreen. From my truth is that we are all fractals of the one, and the one has experienced everything, but as a fractality of that, to have been able to experience that, I would need to go back to the one. It takes courage to be the bad guy in a family because they risk the karma. Yes, exactly, Jean. Exactly that. You know, and, you know, you can put it in a bigger scale. You know, you can put it in the us and them situation that's happening right now. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm on this side of the fence, right? I'm glad that I'm aware and that I'm making these choices. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I just want to it's not our job to wake them up. They have their own blueprint. Exactly. Everybody is a soul choice. It's a soul choice right now. Soul choice. Okay. At this stage, it doesn't really matter. You know, at this point in time, it's about going inward and making our own decisions and seeing things, you know. Absolutely, Pamela. I've even thanked people for what I went through because it made me better. Yeah. Absolutely. So, you know, whatever it is you're doing this holiday period, if you are being segregated from your family, you know, I'm sorry if you're experiencing any pain from that. I love you. Truly, I do. You're very loved through all the multidimensional of all you are. And this is more about them than it is about you. And long term, that's something more that they have to, or you know, may have to, that word, equate for more than you will. And, you know, there's a reason for everything. And it might be, you know, make the most of it. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. Okay. whatever your choices are, make the most of the time that you have. You know, if you need to jump outside and go into your heart space again, you know, and just take 5, or go into the toilet and close the door and just drop into your heart space and drop back into that compassion rather than reaction. You know, if you can make a kind of game of it and try and make lighthearted of it, you know, try and do that. Okay. I love you all. We've got this. Okay. We've all absolutely got this. And every experience that we are having right now is exactly where we need to be, is exactly divine. And the bigger picture will always reveal itself in time. Okay. So if this has triggered anyone, you know, it is what it is. And as I said before, this is only my, you know, this is my channel where I share my truths and my experience. It doesn't have to be yours. I'm not judging anyone for, you know, if they have a completely opposite view of that and a different experience. That's also okay. I love you. And we've so got this. Okay. Sunday, we've got this full moon coming. Is a massive time to release any of this. So whatever is bubbling up just now, whatever is bubbling up through the surface, it's a great time to release that on Sunday. You know, you could do soul contracts, you can write a letter, you can do whatever that is for you. Okay. Gaia Goddess, you're never alone, sweetheart. And you know, maybe you could change it into a day just for you and make it a day full of your favorite things. You know, pick your favorite book, pick your favorite drink, you know, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, listen to your favorite music, watch your best favorite film. The best thing about having Christmas alone is you don't actually have to you know, put up with anybody else's stuff. You don't have to, you know, watch something on telly that somebody else, you know, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. By being by yourself, you can have a day. So just dedicate the day to yourself. Dedicate that day to doing everything that you love and everything that brings you joy. You know, listen to the best music, eat your favorite food, you know, eat cake all day, right? Whatever it is. Make it the best day that you've ever had, because you can do whatever you want and you don't have to suit anybody else's, you know, you don't have to go by anybody else's choices or, you know, eat anybody else's food or listen to anybody else's. Walk around naked, Shafiq. Absolutely. Get your clothes off, dance naked in your living room. You know, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Okay? So take the opportunity, whatever it is that's being thrown at you, and make it its best. Turn it on its head. Transmute it. Okay? Try not to go into a place of victimhood. All right? Try not to be the victim. Turn it into a day of wonder, awe, and the best day that you possibly could. Well, you don't have to do naked Gaia Goddess. I mean, you know, just if it makes you happy. Like, no. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be Christmas. You know, like, I've got to remember that it's all just stories, you know. Write your own story, write your own chapter. Make it the best one that you've ever had. Stick the middle finger up to these people that are trying to control and bring you down, and show them who you really are. Show them that you're not listening. Show them that you can transmute it and live in your joy and live in your heart and come from compassion. The quicker we can do this, the quicker we get out of this. Okay? I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here. Please never, ever, ever feel alone, guys. I know it's easy for me to say, but I've lived alone. I've been there. It's not like I haven't walked that path. Okay? Spend the day meditating. Go on a little astral journey somewhere. Whatever that is. You are so loved, okay? And you're truly never alone. If you could see through the multidimensionality and the layers and the different dimensions, you would realize that you are never alone. So if you feel you need supported, you call in that support through the ethers, okay? Call it in. The law of the universe is this vessel has to ask for aid. So if you're struggling, you ask your team, you ask your higher self, you ask God, you ask Creator, whatever it is that resonates with you. Okay? Right. I'm going now. I hope I haven't triggered too many people. It's just my truth that I'm sharing. I say this from a heart-driven place of love. Okay? Whatever you choose to do, I love you. I have a Telegram, Joe. I just don't really good. You're very loved on World 2, Gaia Goddess. It's one day exactly, Sun Ann. I love that. Okay. You got this. We all got this together, right? We're all in this together. We're one big, happy family, empowered, not triggered, be conscious. Yes, I love that. Let's just try and rise above it. Let's try and rise above it, not be pulled in, and see this from a higher consciousness perspective. Okay? You're all beautiful. Thank you for being here. I don't imagine that I'll be back on before then, but who knows? Something like this comes up, I will be. But if not, do what makes you happy, guys. Live in your joy. Live in the now, live in the moment, because none of us know what's around the corner. Okay? I love you.